Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a Christmas card using Hello Bluebird and Crafty Meraki. First of all, I'm using the Coffee Friends from Hello Bluebird. I'm also using the Oliver Alpha die, and I'm using Christmas out of one of the Bitty holiday wishes from my favorite things, and the Itty Bitty strips are really handy to cut it out. Then for my background, I will be using the 3-room studio Slimline die from Crafty Meraki. An incredible, basic Slimline die. I love it. But first, we are going to color in our images, and I decided to use these for amazingly cute coffee friends from Hello Bluebird. Now first of all, the raccoon. You already know this combination. I actually went to my previous blog post where I colored in a raccoon from Hello Bluebird, and I took the same colors because I really love it. It's really cute, and I just like to reuse combinations that are lovely. So it was a simple decision. And I'm just coloring my way, going from darkest to lightest, getting that gradient going on. This paper is Transotype perfect coloring paper, and I used a black Gina K Designs Amalgam ink. Now with this paper I prefer having at least 2 layers, so here I'm going for that second layer, and I personally find these grays to blend really well, so I don't always need 2 layers to get that blend going on. Often I need it for that reason. But in this case, as you might see already, it really helps with darkening the areas, also just getting that deeper gray, and that's why I'm doing that. So I'm first going to do all the basic colors, and then I will do the accessories. They will all get sort of the same colors, the accessories, so therefore I kept it to the end. But here I'm just working my way. I wanted to give all of these critters different colors, although I use a lot of browns here, and I reuse a lot of markers in these different combinations. But that might be helpful for you if you're like me and you start with a really small amount of markers. It's always handy to start with a combination where some of the markers can be used on other combinations as well. This way, when you want to have a new combination, you only need to buy a few markers instead of the complete combination, you know. So here you can see E33, E53 I will also use for the lighter areas, and these two will also return in the other critters that we are coloring in, but I will use other darker markers to get those shadows and other color combinations that I want. So I'm working my way through my second layer now, and in this case I truly think that it changes everything using a second layer to get that blend between the E18 and E15. I love the combination, but these two with the first blend, it is always so awful in my opinion. It looks like those markers just don't get along. But once I have a second layer, or sometimes a third one, it changes. It changes it completely. Now here again E33 and then E53. Also, if you want to revisit the color combinations that I'm using and you don't want to rewatch the video, I am each time linking towards my blog post in the description box down below. So if you just want a quick overview of the colors for a certain critter, then check it out over there. That's really handy. I do it often when I see a lovely combination from someone else, most of the time on Instagram. I try to find a blog post and then hope for a combination listed. Not everyone does it, but a lot of people do. And if I love a combination, I always hope that I somehow already own the markers. If not, I just write it down on the paper, and then when I decide on buying new markers, I check out what combinations I have on that paper that I would love to have And that's how I decide upon my new markers. So here again you will see the E53, and then I'm using an even lighter color, E50, to get a really soft belly for this hedgehog. But I also used E33 for the, I don't know how you call it in English, but for the darker brown area where you can hurt yourself if you touch it. So here I'm just blending it out again, my second layer, and then we will do the squirrel as a final critter. Now for that one you will also see that E33 and E53 return. I wanted it to be really light and cute squirrel, so I'm using E37, E33 and E53 as color combination. So just slowly building it up. If you prefer starting with a base coat of the lightest marker, then definitely do. There are so many ways to copy color, do whatever you feel comfortable with. I, in the beginning, tried to do a variety of ways. Also on my YouTube channel you will find it if you go to the really old videos. I wanted to show it all because you can do it all if you want to. At a certain point I decided to stick to the darkest towards lightest method, just because if I had too much layers on my Nina it started bleeding, and by starting with my darkest I avoided that first layer of the lightest color, but with this paper I think it would be perfectly fine. But again, it works for me like this. I like the end result, I like the process, that's the most important thing. If you like another way of coloring, then you should definitely do that. And also if you're new to Copic Markers, if you're like me, it will be a struggle in the beginning, but don't give up. I know that the first time I threw those markers away, really far away, and now currently it's my favorite medium to color things in. So things can change if you try and keep trying, and you will get better and better every time, again and again, and you will love it more. So for the accessories right now, I decided to base myself on the pattern paper that I found. I'm making a slimline card, and let's be honest, personally I find it really hard to have pattern paper for my slimline dies. There are of course the 12 by 12 papers, but it's really hard to storage here in my apartment. I don't have that amount of place, it's really large. But then I found these pattern papers, and it's from LDRS creative paper, and well, one of them is pink. So I decided, okay, let's do a really fresh Christmas card. So we are using pinks and this aqua blue, turquoise blue, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know what I mean. So I'm just making sure that I'm using that blue and pink later on the different accessories. Just changing it up a bit. I don't want to repeat myself with only blue scarves, for example. So I'm just switching. And then all the other accessories I will use a pink. And can we just talk about the coffee friends, which are super cute? But I am a coffee addict. The moment I saw these critters, I just had to have it. Once there are coffee mugs or anything like that in a stamp set, I really cannot resist it. There are so many brands out there that are truly making the most amazing images. I don't know how people can do that, illustrate and stuff. It's really something that I cannot. I'm not capable of drawing things. I need stamps for that, and I'm so grateful for each and every illustrator out there that is making stamps, because that's the only reason why I can make these cards, and I'm so grateful. So here again, coffee is life. I cannot live without it. Normally I don't really discuss too much of my personal life, but funny story. So I drink a lot of coffee, but I wasn't aware about the amount of coffee, and then I went on a small trip with my fiance. We just went for 2 nights in a hotel in Belgium because of the COVID. We tried to stay in Belgium. It's not the time to do travels right now, although we want to, but we had like a voucher that we needed to use this year, so we went there, and well, in the morning you have the whole breakfast thing, and then you can take your own coffee, but I'm like really, I cannot walk with a coffee cup on top of a plate, which is always expected in those places. So I asked my fiance to get me some coffee if he wanted to, and he was like, yeah, but no, I don't know the machine, things like that. Let me just be clear, the machine had like pictures of what you could get, so it was really simple, I thought. But he was like, no, I don't know the machine. I was like, okay, then I just take some juice, and fine, no coffee for me. So the second day, so the evening, our final evening over there, I got this really huge headache. But really, it was crazy. It was so painful. I thought that I had a migraine, but the area of the pain was different from what I otherwise have when I have a migraine. So I thought it couldn't be. So after sleeping, everything was going to be fine. And then I woke up and it was even worse. It was ridiculous. I have never had this amount of pain without the dizziness and all those things, but really, it was terrible. So we ate, and then I was like, okay, let's just go home immediately. I want to feel more comfortable. Maybe it's stress without knowing it, you know. So we went home, and then my boyfriend, well, fiance. I need to say fiance, but I think it sounds strange. Okay, but my fiance, he was like, okay, I will now give you a cup of coffee, because here I know the machine and stuff. And he gives me that, and after 5 minutes the headache was gone. And he was like, but of course you drink like 6 or 7 cups a day. And I didn't drink any during those 2 nights that we were there. So that explains a lot. And I think next time we go somewhere and I ask him if he wants to make me a cup of coffee in the morning, I think he's going to say yes, actually. So I think I can put myself in the category of coffee addict, just by experiencing the pain by not drinking 1 cup in the morning. It was crazy. That being said, sorry, normally I don't do this, but maybe it was a nice story to add to this card. I just ink blended some peacock feathers on the top of my windows. One was bad because I went over the edge when I was doing the other one, so I redid it. Now I'm just going to assemble my card, so adding those windows inside of my white die cut. This way I have a bit of dimension, a really minimal dimension, but I have it. Then, as I said, this pattern paper is from LDRS, and it's called Pastel Patterns, and I love it. So I really wanted to use it, and this was my chance. Then the cozy, as I showed you in the beginning, is from the Oliver Alpha dies from Hello Bluebird. It's an amazing alpha die. I truly love it. It's subtle, it's thin, but it's substantial, and that's why I like it. And then the Christmas was just partially stamped from one of the bitty holiday wishes for my favorite things, and I cut it out with the itty bitty strips. Just really simple. I also already prepped 2 more of those Christmases because I really like lately, but it started this year, I think, or the end of last year, to use one big word and then smaller word or smaller sentiment. So I will need more Christmas, just heat embossed on a black strip, because, well, I will make more Christmas cards. I'm always lacking. And then there are so many people I want to send, and, well, I never have enough. And then there are other people who are so kind to ask me to swap some Christmas cards, and I really would love to, but I don't have enough for my family on its own, and then there are a few crafty friends that I really need to send a card to, because it all started with a few people, you know, that had the same hobby, and it's so crazy how this community comes together. Like, I'm living in Belgium, and I can like see statistics about the YouTube thing that I'm doing here for you, and I have 85% of Americans watching, which I truly appreciate. And I find it so funny because I think my English is not that good. But I am honored and flattered that you all are here. But it's crazy, however. Without this hobby, I don't think that I would talk to people from America or Italy or Spain or, you know, and I like it. I love it actually. I'm saying to everyone, I have a German crafty friend, or I know someone from Italy. You know, being fancy, knowing people, talking to people from other countries. Yes. Okay, that being said, I'm adding everything here. I decided to use these Sprinkles Snowdrift from Little Things from Lucy's Cards. I had it already a few years, I think. Never used it. And it's a shame. But it's really lovely, so I decided to use it on this card. It's also perfect for a shaker card, and it has been a while. Maybe I should make a shaker card soon. I will try that. It has been way too long. But once I was happy with placement, I added all of these snowdrifts on top of my Slimline. And then there are just some tiny details that I'm going to add. I'm going to add some stickles. And this time I'm using the Stardust. There are many stickles out there. I prefer the white one or the clear ones that just give the glitter. But like diamonds, what do I Stardusts. I also have unicorn, I think. I love them. And I just grab the first one that I see, you know? So anything works. Just adding a bit of on the scars. And then this is done. I hope that you like this card, and of course that you enjoyed the video. I know I talked a bit about other stuff than the card. I hope you appreciate it. But this is it, and I am so glad that you were here, that you listened to my stories, that you watched this video. I want to thank you. I truly appreciate it. You are the best, and I'll be back soon with some new inspiration. Bye!